Wow. Hello, good morning. Sorry for not doing this on Monday. I felt like garbage. Pure trash. Let's unpin this. There. I got Blender open. I somehow have 25 hours logged onto here. You'd think I would know a thing or two at this point, but no, I don't. Very funny. I know. But anyway. Let me get a couple of things opened up. And unmuted.
Annoying. Like, she's not as bad as, like, the spider.
Yes, I'm watching Semi again, because why not?
The spider from Soma Spider So What is the most
Alright, that's not what we're here for. Alright, let's get this in a separate tab. So let's then get OBS to focus on that.
Just good enough to keep her from being
Here we are, here we are.
So I'm writing everything down. If you want a really good short book,
here we go.
Isekai is a regressor, but if you want to see,
let's make this small, so it's not like covering everything.
It's I think it's like the Wicked Princess and her 12 eyes.
Okay, I should probably not have this there.
Like, the Wicked something. Like, I will recommend.
Put it in the top right corner. Just to show that, hey, I have this opened.
Yes, the Wicked Princess and her 12 eyes. Please read that book. It is so good. It's not an isekai, but it feels like one. It's a one-shot. It's very short. It's so good. It's annoyingly good. I love it. You just gotta bear with the burger, man. I forgot the spider anime. Yeah, I hate the spider anime. Like, because I've read a lot of times I'll read the light novels because that's all I have time for. Because I listen to the audio. She's annoying. The story, the support.
I should do different music. So let me open up YouTube.
I don't understand why people like the spider anime, but to each their own, I guess. I saw clips of the campfire anime, and it
Tea party, no. Fi's opening, no.
Tiger girl to like him by feeding her a steak, and my first thought was, that's how
3D modeling's pretty easy. Blender, cool. I'll look at that one later.
Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Hey Nadia, how are you? Like, that's why for me, I'm like, okay, when I do my isekai, it's gonna be, weirdly enough, the only
that's
thing
an AI ad.
That my isekai involves dealing with a prison. That's it. Because it fascinates me.
That is an Asian man handing me a cigarette.
Damn, I kind of want to talk about the prison system. And I'm like, so we have this big mood elf lady, and
fact.
she ends up encountering a prison. Yeah. I've been trying to not deal with the prison, but it was too interesting.
Let's see here. No.
I still remember when you were
no copyright coffeehouse jazz. This could be what I need. No ads, please no ads. I will blow my shit smooth off.
Shield hero a girl, and that made you crash out even more. Yeah, I do not recommend Shield Hero. The longer I think about it, the more I realize just how weird it is. I think that these guys is the one with MC Peace of the Kingdom. I don't know.
It's only 360p. Okay, you know what? That's fine.
I like the ones that take.
Okay, no more lollygagging.
Like, either they have to be very serious.
Let's
like,
get this started.
No, if you think about it, Shield Hero was weird from the jump because it's fit. I had a epiphany the other day. We're not gonna crash.
Okay.
for more intermediate users of Blender. However, if you're brand new to Blender, you do not know the hotkeys or how the 3D viewport works or anything like that, do not worry, I actually have a playlist on this channel.
Oh, I should probably
just
look at that
starting out.
first, actually, now that I think about it.
It's now for me, so you never
Yeah.
realize just how badly
Welcome to my character modeling. Welcome to my character modeling.
bad slave owner. That's so
Horses. Here we go.
beginning of the story, by the way.
Okay.
It's a really weird thing that
3D viewport, interface overview, keyframes transforms, timeline, dope, the fuck? Graph editor, character lighting, rendering. I think I just need to watch the first 3 and then I'll get it fine.
In this video, we're gonna cover
3
exactly
fucking years
what-
ago, Christ.
If you're opening Blender for the 3D viewport, this is the window right here where you're going to be spending 90%.
Okay, the music's a little loud. Let me... Actually, I haven't checked. Is the audio fine?
The people from being enslaved by Naomi get punished. They're seen as wrong by the narrative. I'm like, uh-oh. You see people who potentially might do slavery, but the only one who does slavery is and is rewarded for it is Naomi. So according to Rise of the Shield Hero, slavery is good actually. Yeah, yep. Actually, you do once and
Okay.
never again.
Okay, yeah, the audio should be fine.
Beggar chicken against the dinosaur. That don't count. Like, because everything that you already told everything in the castle was in, so that's not what I mean.
Who
Like,
fucking pinged me?
a random person not affiliated with people who are
Okay, here.
percent of your time in Blender. So knowing its most crucial functions, as we're about to cover here, is really important. The 3D viewport is where your 3D scene is displayed and where all objects in your scene are located. In order to select different objects in our scene, we can just press left.
Actually, wait, let me do one more thing. Alright, enough.
Click on them
No
to
more
make them our
delays.
active selection. So if we press left click on our camera here, it will
Okay.
turn orange and become our active selection. To
Alright.
deselect in the 3D viewport, simply left click any negative space. To select everything in your scene, you can press A, or to deselect everything in your scene, you can press Alt A. So A to select all, Alt A to deselect all.
Okay, I'm definitely
Now
gonna
let's cover
forget
the
this.
fun part, which is actually navigating our 3D scene. That means panning and rotating around our 3D viewport. There are 2 ways of doing this. The first is at the top right of our screen here on this 3D gizmo. If you hold left click on the 3D gizmo, you will orbit around our cube in our scene here. You can also click on any of these axes
I
to
see.
snap to its respective view in an orthographic view. By left clicking on the x-axis here, I have snapped my view to the right orthographic view, as I can tell
Upside down.
by looking at the top left of my viewport. If
Okay.
I left click on the Y in the 3D gizmo, I will snap to the back orthographic view. If I left click on the Z, I will snap to the top
Okay,
orthographic view.
okay, that's
An
easy.
orthographic view in 3D is simply a view with no perspective information in it whatsoever. It's a
Right.
completely flat and shallow version of the 3D space you're looking at. To exit the orthographic view, all you need to do is hold middle mouse button to orbit around our cube once again.
Okay,
middle
middle
mouse button is the way I normally rotate around objects in Blender, just because it's so fast. If you hold left mouse button on this little hand icon,
Alright,
you will
that's-
move your camera around it.
The music's fucking loud. Jesus
Or a bad
Christ.
person, but I think the issue comes from the fact that people try to make slavery a good thing.
The 3D space.
What a thing to
If you
hear
hold
somebody say.
Shift plus middle mouse button,
Anyway.
you will do the exact same thing. Which is
Shift
what I
middle.
normally press.
Okay, wait.
So holding Shift plus middle mouse button moves your view, and just holding middle mouse button orbits your view. If you want to look at another object in 3D space, you're going to want to change your orbit center point. To do that, simply change your active selection by clicking on an object, then go to View, Frame Selected.
I
Now,
see.
if we orbit by holding middle mouse button, we'll
Window.
be orbiting around our camera in our scene here. We're a
Where's
little
the
close
view?
to our camera, so we can actually zoom out by using
Hold on, where the hell is view?
selection by clicking
Oh, I see now.
on an object.
Right
Go to
here,
View,
I'm...
Frame Selected.
I need to
Now,
be
if
shy.
we orbit by holding middle mouse button, we'll be orbiting around our camera in our scene here. We're a little close to our camera, so we can actually zoom out by using the scroll wheel on our mouse, like so. And you can do the
Okay.
exact same thing by holding left click on this little magnifying glass icon, the top right of the 3D viewport. I'm going to make the cube our active selection once again by holding middle mouse to orbit into our view, pressing left click, and then going to view, frame selected. Then I will zoom out once again by using the scroll wheel. The final two icons in our 3D viewport here are this little camera icon and this perspective icon, all of which have hotkeys associated with them.
Numpad
the camera
5,
icon lets
numpad
us
0.
snap to the view of our currently active camera object in our scene. So if I click on this, you'll see that we are now seeing our 3D scene through the lens of our camera object. To exit this view, you can just hold the middle mouse button, or you can press the shortcut for this, which is numpad 0.
Okay.
Like so. So I'm going to exit our camera view and press the shortcut for this final button, which is the perspective/orthographic toggle.
numpad
So if I press
5.
5 on my numpad here, which is the shortcut for it, and use middle mouse button to
Wait.
wait.
Okay, so this is like...
You'll see that all the
One feels like a
perspective
perspective in a game, like an isometric game, but this...
And everything starts to look very shallow and flat, which is very useful for certain 3D modeling tasks.
Okay.
I'm going to exit this view by pressing numpad 5, and that about covers it for this video. In the next video, we're going to cover the Blender interface, which...
Okay, interface, that's 13 minutes long.
Yeah, like, because remember, a lot of people, like, at the end of the day, slavery is bad because...
Let's cover all the most important aspects. First, let's talk about panels. The Blender interface consists of a series of panels. You could scale any of these panels at any point by clicking and dragging the boundary of a panel with the left mouse button, like so.
Okay, so like similar to Clip
You
Studio.
can create more panels by right-clicking the edge or boundary of a panel and pressing either vertical split or horizontal split.
Okay.
Vertical split will split your panels vertically, like so, and if we right-click on this again, do horizontal split, and then press left mouse.
Okay, vertical horizontal split. That's something I could definitely use.
They would just enslave people, specifically to give to the Demon King, because he had a weird elf fetish. Don't worry about it. And so for the longest time, it was basically like elves, and then also not demon kin, but like beastkin. Basically anybody who wasn't human, but humans would also fall into this as well. So basically, but after that, now official slavery was actually outlawed.
See that it will create horizontal panels like so. Of course, we kind of just made a mess, so how do we fix this? Well, all you have to do is right-click on this panel here and click Join Areas. Then, as your mouse is hovering over this panel, you can left-click it to delete it. I'll right-click on this boundary and press Join Areas and left-click on this 3D viewport to delete it as well. To change what's in a panel, all you need to do is left-click this little drop-down menu that's at the top left of every panel. So you can see it here, you can see it here, and you can see it here, as well as here. I see.
Okay.
For example, I can click on my 3D viewport and change it to the UV editor here, and now we can see that our 3D viewport is now the UV editor. I'll left-click this drop-down and click the 3D viewport once.
Okay, wait here. Image editor, 3D viewport. Compromiser, 3D viewport. Okay. Okay.
And if you ever want to full screen a panel in Blender, all you need to do is press Ctrl plus space on your keyboard, which will full screen that panel. Now you can see that our 3D viewport is now full screen. To edit this preview, you can press Ctrl plus space again, or...
Wait, no, I thought it was in Blender. Okay.
You can press this little back to previous button at the top left of
that, of course, in case I forget the key button.
This applies to every panel in Blender. So if I mouse over my outliner here and press Ctrl plus space, you'll see that the outliner is now full screen.
Oh,
You
wow.
can return to previous by pressing Control plus space.
I wonder if this applies to a Clip Studio.
Blender also has a series of default workspaces for various 3D workflows at the top of our screen here, as you can see. For our
Layout.
purposes here, we're going to mainly be sticking to the layout, animation, and shading workspace.
Okay, wait. Layout, modeling. Okay, so that's it's just layout, but without the animation bar. Sculpting, UV editing, texture paint, shading. I should not have clicked that. Should not have clicked that. Okay, it's back to sculpting. Okay. We are not touching shading. Animation, rendering, composition, geometry nodes, scripting. Okay, wow, that's... This is gonna be something else I need to look at. That's for fucking later, I guess. Oh, Christ. Ugh.
Can only be removed at the courthouse that you were originally convicted at. So if you run away, yes, there are ways to get the seal off, but the best way is to go back to wherever you got sentenced from.
Spaces.
Okay.
So I'll go back to the layout workspace here, which is the default. And just so you know, if you ever mess up your Blender UI just beyond repair, it's a total mess and you don't know how to fix it, all you need to do is press this little plus icon, then go to General, Layout.
I see. Okay, General. Options, no. Global, no. What the fuck?
This little plus icon.
Oh, the plus
go
icon.
To General, Layout. That will
2D
reset your Blender
animation.
interface back to the default.
Okay. Oh,
Two quick
meaning I could
menus
use...
in our 3D viewport as well. By pressing T, you can show and hide.
I could use that instead of buying or upgrading my Clip Studio.
Hide the quick tools menu.
I'll have to figure
This is
that
where our
out.
selection mode, 3D cursor, translation, rotation, and scale options live, plus a few more. You can also press Shift plus space to access this menu at your cursor at any time, which is helpful. I'll press Shift plus space and go back to the selection box tool.
I'll just leave
You
this
can
as
also
it
press
is.
N or click the little arrow at the top right of the 3D viewport here to access additional quick settings. These are related to the transform data of your selected object, the tool settings of your current tool, and the view settings of your viewport camera. The object, the tool signal quick settings. These are related to the transform
here we
data
go.
of your selected object, the tool settings of your current tool, and the view settings of your viewport camera. And as you can see, you can show and hide it by pressing N. Now let's quickly cover something that's very important to understanding Blender, which is the
I'm gonna make it very apparent. I'm gonna forget majority of this shit at the end of the day because I'm a fucking idiot. But I think if I just force myself to learn this even off stream, I should figure it out. Sure, it's better than doom scrolling. That's for fucking sure.
You can either indenture yourself to a company, a manor, basically to richer people for a certain amount of time. Usually, for a lot of times, it's basically also your parents can drop you off.
Too many tabs. Too many
3D
tabs.
cursor. This little red and white circle you see here acts as a spawning point for new objects in your 3D scene, a reference point for pivoting, and more. To place it around your scene, all you need to do is hold Shift and right click, like so. And to reset your 3D cursor, all you need to do is press and hold Shift plus S, then click Cursor to World Origin.
Okay. Control S. No. Hopefully that wasn't shown.
This is like the dressed up version they tell society, being like, oh no, people come in indentured servants. It's like a way of helping the poor.
Oh, here we go. Shift S.
Keeping the poor in control. A surprising amount of bastards are born this way. Slave owners by default are never good because they are literally owning a person and remove their rights. If they were good, they wouldn't own people. And that's the thing. The other thing I
Okay, it didn't show.
literally show how insidious slavery is. Because a lot of times it's very black and white, like, oh, if you own slaves, you're bad. But then there's the
Cursor to
slippery
grid.
slope of
No.
the person is not compensated for their labor, so
World
tends to
Origin.
fall
Here
into
we
that
go.
very easily. Housewives. Anyway. But the problem problem is literally it's used as a system of control, not necessarily.
That will reset your 3D cursor back to the default location. You can also adjust the 3D cursor's location and rotation values in the right-hand menu here of the 3D viewport.
Okay, but yeah, I don't need to learn anything past 3-4 bits, I think, because...
Clicking the View tab,
Fuck you, that's
then
what...
going to 3D cursor, and holding left click on any of these values.
Okay, so...
They usually tend to stay with wherever they are, and that's also an easy way for nobility
No,
and for the rich
and...
to get servants. Is to literally groom them from children because they literally have no other options outside of this. It's insidious, it's bad, but that's the way it is.
View, animation tool, wait, where?
For some reason, brothels. Brothels are a weird
View, oh, 3D cursor, here we go.
This is the only, this is one of 2 areas that you could be born into. This is, something that is technically illegal, but it's tolerated because
okay.
people be born into.
Okay.
So, basically, with brothels, they operate very close to...
I'm going to press left click and reset this back to 0. I'm going to hide this menu by pressing N.
No.
You can, you know, sometimes they get these people illegally, sometimes they give themselves there. But basically, oh yeah.
I can't skip it either.
So, a lot of times, children who are born into this category will be stuck there, unfortunately. Sometimes
No,
they can't get out.
I don't care. I've never even been to a fucking Wayfair. I don't fucking care.
Another way of getting out.
Now, let's talk about something that may be overwhelming at first, but is actually very simple, the Properties Editor. And I'm definitely not re-recording this section because my webcam was covering this part of the UI.
Well,
This
you shouldn't
panel is
even
at
use
the
the
bottom
webcam.
right of your layout by default, as you can see here. This editor contains several important tabs that are represented by different icons that change how your scene is displayed, the properties of your selected object, the settings of your current tool, and more. And hovering over any of the property editor tabs shows you what it's named. For our purposes here, we're really only going to cover the most important tabs for 3D
I'm gonna make
animation,
this bigger,
because
just so
luckily,
it's more
as
visible.
animators, we really only care about a select few of these tabs. The first tab here
Actually,
is
wait.
the Active Tool.
Something just crossed my mind. What if I...
Let's see. And then next we have the worst possible kind, which is other horn.
Okay, that makes
The
things
worst
significantly
possible kind
better.
is black market slavery. These are people who have been kidnapped.
Let's shrink this back down a little bit to here.
Into basically the black market.
It's still like barely visible, but that's fine as long as you can see that I'm watching
If the
this.
authorities find out that they will crack down. This is the one that...
And, okay, it's staying in full screen for that tab. That's good, that's good. Very good.
And workspace settings, which lets us change the settings of our current
God, this
selected
pixel
tool
quality
in the
sucks,
3D
but
viewport.
what can
For
you
example,
do?
if I click on the cursor tool here, we now have a new set of options available to us. If I click on the transform tool, we have a new set of options, etc., etc. I'm going to press
Cursor,
Shift plus space
move,
and then go back to
rotate.
the select box tool. The next set of tabs, which are separated from our current tab by a very small
Scale,
gap, are
transform,
our
annotate,
scene-specific
measure.
properties. The first one is this camera icon, which is the Renders Properties tab. This is where you change render engines, sampling settings, and engine-specific properties and other options that change how your final image is rendered from your 3D scene. The next icon looks like a printer, and that is because it is our Output tab. This is where you can change resolution, frame rate, and where the files you're rendering are being output on your computer.
1920, 1080, yada yada.
The next tab we care about is the one with a globe icon, because that is our world properties
No, I
tab.
just realized that's not
This
very
is where you can
visible
change the
because of
properties
how
of the sky
OBS
or background of your scene
is handling
in 3D.
this. Hold on, let me...
Basically, when they... After a big incident involving elves are basically forbidden to be enslaved. But guess where they tend to end up when they do? Because
Oh, wait, no matter what, it's gonna... Right, damn it. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, it should be fine. Everything's mostly visible. The important bit is visible, this, which is here.
If we go to the top right of our viewport here and change the material preview mode to rendered, we can actually preview what this does. So I'm going to left click on this color property right here, which will give us access to a color
Shading,
wheel. It'll make it a
material
little bit brighter.
preview,
And as you can see,
solid,
the background of our scene is changing.
wireframe.
If we hold left click in any of these parts of the color wheel, we can change the color of our world. You can also change the strength here, like so. I'm gonna go back to the color of our scene is chill, which I'll make a little bit brighter, pretty right here, which will...
Oh, the red background. Here we go.
You need to belong to a family over there. World building talks with them. Indeed, we're doing world building now. So with them, it's very much like they have servants, but usually you're not locked into being a servant forever. It literally depends on how. Not the kitty clan. So for them, again, slavery.
Oh god, Control Z. It just goes back to the previous.
So for them, it's basically it depends on who you belong to.
Brick texture.
And it's something that
You can brick my texture.
over there, but it's also something you can pretty easily get out
RGB,
if you have some
HSV,
So,
linear,
then you go
perpetual.
from, if you manage to basically get into a big family,
Huh,
you
strange.
basically earn your freedom.
You know what? This gray's perfect anyway, so I don't even need to fucking mess with that.
Depending on who your people is.
will give us access to a color by clicking on them. You'll notice that once again there's a small section between our tabs here, and that's because the remainder of our tabs are object specific, meaning that they change depending on what object you currently have selected. I'm going to make sure I have the cube selected and go to this orange tab here,
Okay, orange. Yeah.
which is the Object Properties tab.
Object
Here,
properties.
you can change object properties like scale, rotation, and location, as well as object visibility properties. So if I hold left click on this, you'll see that we can change the location of our cube, the rotation of our cube, as well as the
Me when I
scale
see a
of our
blue
cube.
mall.
And to reset any of these values to default, I will just mouse over them and press backspace. So if you want to reset a value to default in Blender, just mouse over it and press backspace.
Really?
So, if we go to visibility here, there's a really useful one I like at the bottom called holdout. And if we click on that, absolutely nothing happens, seemingly. But that's just because we are in the solid mode for
Okay.
viewport shading. If we go to the rendered view, you can see that holdout makes our cube look gray. What this actually does though is it makes the object you have selected render as transparent pixels in your final render, which is awesome and really, really useful for compositing. We'll touch on that in a later video though. So I'm gonna toggle this off and go back
Visibility.
to our solid preview. The next tab has this blue wrench icon, which is called the Modifiers tab. This is where predefined modifiers that manipulate the objects in your scene live. All you need to do is click Add Modifier here, and for example, I will do a Subdivision Surface modifier, and I'll click Add Modifier again and do a Solidify modifier.
Okay, so edit, generate, bevel, build, curve tool, cast, curve, normals, curve. Okay. I don't know what that does. It'll probably learn as time goes on.
What makes modifiers in Blender so powerful is that they're completely non-destructive.
Subdivision and solidify, that's what he has. Generate mask, a mirror. Okay, I'll look at the
Which basically just means that you can always turn them off or delete them and have your object go back to its original state. You can toggle previewing of these modifiers in your 3D viewport by clicking this little monitor icon, and you can drag around the order of your modifiers by holding left click on this section right here and moving them around like so. I'm going to get rid of both of these modifiers by pressing this little X icon. The next tab we care about is the one that looks like a blue bike chain right here. This is the Object Constraint Properties tab. This is used to control object properties like its location, rotation, and scale using its own values or the values of another object, which is referred to as the target object. So if we click on Add Object Constraint and see these constraints are labeled Copy, that's what they're doing. They're copying the values of another object. This is occasionally used for camera animation and for other object animation purposes. This green... The next tab is also really important. It kind of looks like a flux capacitor, and it's called the Object Data Properties tab. This is where you change object mesh data, shape keys, vertex group, aka weights, UV maps, as well as geometry specific settings. Your object's mesh data is exactly what it sounds like. It's the 3D object data that makes up your mesh. For example, the object data of a cube is different than the object data of a sphere. And
oh, fuck. Hate ads. Fuck's sake, dude. It's the same fucking shit, too, because YouTube's just like, oh, we don't know age verify shit. No, fuck you. Ugh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's the proper procedure at this point, but at this point, I stopped messing with these types of animes. Yeah, I eat My Hero Academia the last 3 seasons. Like, because again, I want to have, because for me, I like having high magic. Like, for example, one of my favorite things in my setting is the gods are kind of
wrong tab.
They're not good,
okay,
they're
shit.
not bad, they are just there, and they will
okay.
regardless of whether you
I'll move it to the right, and if I left will the object data that makes up your mesh. For example, the object data of a cube is different than the object data of a sphere. And you don't have to follow along with this, but I will spawn in a sphere, I'll move it to the right, and if I left click on my cube again and go to the object data tab here, you can see that we can actually click on sphere, and our cube now looks like a sphere. I will undo that, left click on our sphere and delete it by pressing the delete button, and left click on our cube once more. Next up we have shape keys, which are used to deform objects into new shapes for animation. They're also referred to as blend shapes or morph targets. You can make a new shape key by pressing the plus button next to this shape key section. And I'm actually going to create 2 new shape keys here because the first shape key essentially will act as my basis that all other shape keys will refer back to. So let's press the plus button here and change the value from 0 to 1 by holding left click right here. You don't have to follow along with this, but I'm going to go to edit mode by pressing tab, left click on a vertice, press G to move it, press left click to confirm that move, then go back into object mode by pressing tab. Now something interesting will happen. If I change the value of this from 0 to 1, you can see that the change we just made to the model is an animatable property. This right here is typically how character rigs are animated in Blender. A modeler will take the face of a character model and they'll make a series of shape keys for different mouth shapes, eye shapes, eyebrow positions, and tie those shape keys.
Hang on, I need to go back.
Move it from 0 to 1 by holding left click right here. You don't have to follow along with this, but I'm going to go to edit mode by pressing tab, left click on a vertice, press G to move it, press left click to confirm that move, then go back into object mode by pressing tab. Now something interesting will happen. If I change the value...
Oh, tab.
No, stop it. Nope, it's still stuck. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to put these further down, I guess.
Oh, wait, hold on, forgot to...
Okay, there we go. And as good as we're gonna get. Is it just me or the dribbles, and semi-glowing? I don't know. Maybe.
There.
Hey, well, hello. Sweet loves outfit, thank you. But yeah, the, if you're gonna put it in there, like, I guess just literally give it a little bit of thought. You don't have to be, like, listing out the entire complex, but if you're gonna have a character have a slave background, you know...
Okay. Like, oh, there we go. I forgot to press tab, that's all I did.
Like, don't just be like, oh no, they were a slave and they were almost gonna be killed because... In real life, most people don't treat slaves that way. Because it's kind of stupid.
Of this from 0 to 1, you can see that the change we just made to the model is an animatable. A modeler will take the face of a character model and they'll make a series of shape keys for different mouth shapes, eye shapes, eyebrow positions, and tie those shape keys into a character rig using drivers. We'll talk about those in a future video though. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have our material tab, which looks like this checkered red sphere we have here. Again, we're not going to see these changes update
Base
unless we
color.
go back to the rendered view. This is where you control many object settings related to how your object is shaded during a render. This is where you can change object color, roughness, glossiness, transparency, and more. So if I left click on the base color here, you will see that a cube can be any color we want. And if I scroll down here, you'll see even more options we have. For example, if I set metallic to 1, our cube becomes metallic, but I'll reset the color back to gray.
Something just crossed my mind. How much is this eating at my PC? Oh wow, not much. Not even 700 megabytes of memory. Wow, holy. Fantastic. And then you get Microsoft Edge being Microsoft Edge. I really gotta change browsers at this point. I know, I've heard good things about okay, wait, no, that wasn't an ad.
Cover in this video is the outliner, which is the one that's been staring us in the face at the top right of our screen this whole time. This is where all objects in our scene are located. You can specify which objects are visible here by clicking this little icon next to them, and you can create new collections here. You can think of a collection as a folder, which you can use to, and you can of our screen in this video is the outliner, which is the one that's been staring us in the face at the top right of our screen this whole time. This is where all objects in our scene are located. You can specify which objects are visible here by clicking this little icon next to them, and you can create new collections here. You can think of a collection as a folder, which you can use to organize objects in your 3D scene with. I'll click this new collection icon to create a new folder like this, and I'll rename it by double-clicking on it and calling it tutorial.
I'm calling it the cum zone.
You can just right-click on it. For example, I'll do pink for this collection. I'll right-click on this collection, make this blue.
I can't make it white, so we'll make it brown.
And you can hide the collection by left-clicking this little arrow icon, and you can put new objects in the collection by
you can't even see that, but that's funny. That's fine.
And dragging them over a collection.
No way I can really move it large. Oh wait a minute.
You can see that our
tutorial
collection is now in this collection. To drag it out, all you have to do is hold left-click and drag it over the main scene collection right here. That about covers it though. In the next video, we're going to cover transforms, which is how all animation in Blender is accomplished. So.
Okay, part 3. Fuck you ads.
And then depending on the author, he will either he'll either just disappear into the ether, or he'll use the court system, and then
but whatever is K, not I, shit.
We're going to talk about transforms in Blender. Transforms are used to modify the position, rotation, and scale of characters and objects in...
Yeah, we don't need to worry about anything past 3, I think. So we can then look at this. Is that the right one?
And this is essentially how all character animation and object animation in Blender is accomplished. Mastering transforms is crucial for all types of Blender animation, so let's jump into it. In Blender, there are 3 types of transforms: translation, rotation, and scale. Translation in Blender is simply done by pressing the G key when you have an actively selected object. So as you can see here, I just pressed the G key with my cube selected, and just by moving my mouse around, my cube is moving around in space. To confirm this movement, all I need to do is...
A male isekai protagonist rescue another man from slavery. Not to say that it never happens.
Oh, wait. There we go.
Very often, can you imagine Naofumi rescuing a dude that's not a child, you know?
Press the left mouse button on my mouse. Now you can see that it has stopped moving and we have confirmed this position of the cube. To undo that change, all I needed to press is Ctrl plus Z on my keyboard.
That's easy.
And again, all I need to do to move an object is press G, then move it using my mouse, and then press left click to confirm. If I press G and then right click, it actually cancels that movement. So G plus right click cancels a movement, and G plus left click confirms a movement. I'm gonna press Ctrl plus Z to undo those changes. To rotate an object in Blender, this one's really easy to remember. You just press R on your keyboard. Now, if you move your mouse around, you can see that your object will start rotating in space like so. And again, to confirm that placement, you just press left mouse button and if you press right mouse button after you press R, it will cancel that. So I'm going to press Ctrl plus Z to undo that once again. To scale an object in Blender, you just press S on your keyboard, then move your mouse. And once again, to confirm a scale, all you need to do is press left mouse button. I'm going to undo that by pressing Ctrl plus Z. You can also do more precision movements in Blender. For example, if I press G, then press X, then move my mouse, you will see that we are just moving our cube along the X axis. And then if I press Y, we will only move our cube along the Y axis. And if I press Z, we will
when I'm
only
taking
move
the
our
elevator
cube
up the
along
hill.
the Z axis. I'm going to press right click to cancel that move, and this also works for rotation. So if I press R on my keyboard and then press Y, you'll see that if we move our mouse now, it will only rotate our cube along the Y axis. And the cool part about rotations is that, say you want a rotation exactly 35 degrees, you can just type in 35 on your keyboard, you just type 35, then press Enter to confirm that placement. I'm going to undo that by pressing Ctrl plus Z. The same works for scale. If I press S on my keyboard, then type in 5, it will enlarge our cube exactly 5 times. I can press Enter to confirm that change. I'll press Ctrl plus Z to undo that change in this case though. You can also place what are called keyframes for these transforms in Blender using the I key. You can remember that as insert. So if you want to insert a keyframe, you can press I. What's a keyframe though? A keyframe is basically a marker of time that stores the value of a property and defines the starting and ending point of a transition of one of our previously mentioned transforms, that being translation, rotation, and scale. That sounds pretty complicated, I know, but trust me, this is actually pretty simple. To show you what I mean, I'm going to add another object to our scene and actually delete our cube. So I'm going to press X on my keyboard here, and this little dialog box will pop up, and I'll just press left click to delete our cube. To add new objects in Blender, you need to open the Add dialog, which is done using Shift plus A. This is where you add meshes, lights, new cameras, and more to your scene. In this case, I'm just going to go to the mesh dropdown for this menu, then I'm going to hover on down to cylinder. And then I'll press left click to spawn in a cylinder. In order to make a keyframe on this cylinder, I will press the insert keyframe button, which is I. This opens the insert keyframe menu, and in this case, for the animation I'm about to make, I actually want to key location, rotation, and scale. So I'll click on this option right here to insert a location, rotation, and scale keyframe. And as you can see, if we make this a little bit bigger, this little timeline panel we have at the bottom of our window here, you will see this little orange dot. That is the insert keyframe button, which is I. This opens the insert keyframe menu, and in this case, for the animation I'm about to make, I actually want to key location, rotation, and scale. So I'll click on this option right here to insert a location, rotation, and scale keyframe. And as you can see, if we make this a little bit bigger, this little timeline panel we have at the bottom of our window here, you will see this little orange dot. That is the keyframe for this cylinder that we just placed. And it places it on frame 1 because that's where our playhead and currently active frame is.
Okay,
so for example, if we went to frame 120 here, and then we pressed I, then clicked on location, rotation, and scale, again, you will see that there is another keyframe at frame 120 right here. And you can see your current frame by going to this little box right here, which is the current frame value on our timeline. Now I'm going to rotate our object, translate our object, and scale our object. To do that, I am just going to move our camera a little bit, and press G, move my mouse, then press left click to move our object. I'm going to press R, move my mouse a bit just in circles like this. Then I'm going to press left click to rotate our object. Then I'm going to press S, move my mouse like so, just it's a little janky here, but just kind of down like that. Then I'm press left click to confirm that. However, it's really important that I press I, then go to location, rotation, and scale, and click that to confirm all the changes I just made. One of the biggest mistakes beginner animators make is forgetting to do that and then losing a bunch of progress, and it can be really frustrating.
Okay.
Granger knows that is
I really need to get an ad blocker.
You can do to resolve that problem though, and that's with this button right here. This is called auto keying, and personally when I animate I always have this on. What this does is automatically create keyframes whenever you make a change to any object's location, rotation, or scale. What that basically means is that if I click this button on, then I go to frame, let's say 190 here. Then if I press G to move our object, R to rotate our object, and S to scale our object, I do not need to go press I to insert the location, rotation, and scale for those changes. It is done for me automatically.
Really?
Can I ask for one final awesome thing, awesome anime? Sure. Not sad, skeleton noises. I just imagine that just sounds like a bunch of clacking. Like clackety clack. Anyway. The thing is, like, the difference between servant and slave is a very thin line, so you have to kind of keep your own mental definition of what the line is. Can't believe this shit. You'll be fine. Bill's character. Scarlet of the Queen of Beatings. Oh, do you mean the
rotation.
People, the elegant lady who punches
Bam.
people? That thing's good. It's not an isekai. I mean, technically it's not, but like, I like it.
Alright, let's see.
It's really cute. It definitely does. It's a very cute show. I like it because it doesn't make you feel bad for liking.
Right, we got to
I hate parodies that try to basically make you feel stupid for liking the original thing. Madoka Magica, you know? Don't be Madoka Magica. Madoka Magica is stupid, and I hate it. I despise Madoka Magica. Like, oh my god. Is that thing literally?
Okay, this is retarded. I'll just.
Needlessly edgy for no reason, and everyone keeps pretending it's cute. I'm like, it's stupid. I also don't really like how they do their magical girl transformations.
Oh, it does it automatically. No, it fucking doesn't.
Because I enabled that option. So I'm just gonna mouse out of this menu. It is done for me on rotation or scale. What that basically means is that if I click this page, automatically keying, and personally—
Oh, auto keying. Why did I?
Like, it is an isekai, but not for the main character. The main character is from the world, which is fine. You know, it's very cute. English is very hard. It is. But like, again, I'm not a superior. Remember, kids, I'm not a superior writer. I am actually a hypocrite, and I will read trash and enjoy it. Like, do not trust me. I am horrifying.
There we go.
But this dragon puts you in a van and employs you, and no one bats an eye. But when the magical homunculus frees you from slavery and employs you to protect you, everyone goes nuts. This is very true. Moral of the story: serve the dragon. Anyway.
Nice.
Like, just let me butter you.
when I animate, I always have this on. What this does is automatically create keyframes whenever you make a change to any object's location, rotation, or scale. What that basically means is that if I click this button on, then I go to frame, let's say 190 here. Then if I press G to move our object, R to rotate our object, automatically, because I want to go back to the first frame in our timeline here. And that's done with this little jump to endpoint button at the top of our timeline window here. And as you can see, our beautiful animation is now playing back before us. I'm gonna just press left click on this, or just spacebar again. It's adjusting the position animation in Blender's specific exclusive Discord community. And
okay, I think that should be it.
She's like a 40-year-old woman who gets like.
I think that should do.
She gets like isekai'd into her avatar of like a sexy hentai lady, so you know.
All right, so let's give this.
Season. Oh wow, I wonder why. Could it be underage waifus? Anyway. There's a purple dragon.
I mean, there's also the. Well, then again, it's probably just a mix of all these, which could explain a few things.
Because Stella's like a 40-year-old woman IRL, she doesn't really. And I think that's the other reason I kept running into a problem is because she is not
your series. In this series, we're gonna make my character you see right here, Love-chan, completely from scratch using low poly modeling and texturing techniques. Low poly modeling is a fantastic way to get into 3D modeling and Blender, and my hope is that more experienced users will also have plenty to learn from when we start talking about UV unwrapping, texturing, and rigging later on. Because
This is gonna make me blow my shit smooth off, but it's gonna be hilarious in the end.
not only is Blender completely free to use, this series is going to be totally free, and we're not going to be using any paid add-ons to accomplish our modeling or texturing tasks whatsoever. This series is designed for more intermediate users of Blender. However, if you're brand new to Blender, you do not know the hotkeys or how the 3D viewport works or anything like that, do not worry. I actually have a playlist on this channel for people who are just starting out and learning Blender, and I will link that below as well. So definitely check that out if you're new to learning Blender.
Let's just make
when
a
you're done
cube
with that,
and
you
then...
can hop right into starting the first videos in this series. There's also going to be a Gumroad version of this course, which will be linked below. This version includes downloadable versions of all of the videos in this series, model, UV unwrapped, and rigged Love-chan character that we're going to make your own low poly characters that you can draw and then make 3D using everything that you've picked up and learned throughout this series. So none of that is required, but it's a really good bonus for those who are very serious about learning 3D modeling, character modeling, and Blender. For this series, I would recommend you use a Blender 4.0 or above version just to make sure you have access to features
I have
like
5.
geometry nodes, which we will be using later on in this series. You can download the latest version of Blender from the blender.org website, or you can just download it from Steam. But yeah, with that intro out of the way, let's jump right into Blender. Let's set up our Blender scene for this course to make sure we have the right color settings and that our model will be looking as intended as we continue to create it throughout this course. So this is the default Blender scene. When you open Blender, this is always what you're gonna see, right? There's a few things though that by default we don't want. So first thing we're gonna wanna do is to go to this render tab and make absolutely sure our render engine is set to Eevee, because we really don't need what
Set to
Cycles
Eevee.
does. Cycles is like a ray trace based renderer, which is not what we're going for with the style at all. So definitely make sure you're using Eevee.
I am hungry as sin. I forgot to have breakfast again, as usual.
He's like, you know, Japan pride or whatever, or makes soy sauce, and everyone's like, oh my god, what is this? Like, Rimuru doesn't fully suffer from this, but he does partially. It's very annoying. You know, or they know how to, like...
I'm very hungry.
Like, they know how to do the most bare minimum thing, and yet everyone in the isekai world doesn't even know how to, like, you know, wipe their butt. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Alright, I should eat something, but there's nothing to eat. That's breakfast-wise.
Hey there, Bob. Several numbers. Welcome.
Ah, fuck it, I'll be fine. How long has it been? It's only been an hour, right? Just about.
Eevee. Also make sure that ambient occlusion is disabled, which it is right now. It's not checked. Make sure that...
Okay, need to change in 4.2 is view transform setting under color management.
He's like, we got a magic choo-choo. No, we don't. Anyway. Is it just for rice? Yeah, that's stupid, but the chicken and rice, I get it.
Okay,
It's like, well,
view
look,
transform, view
obligatory,
transform.
recipes to Tim Curry, I guess. Bye. I don't know. Helping me when people die doesn't do much, so if you want me to have empathy, I recommend you, I don't know, find somebody else. Dude, I just got lost. Where did I get?
Bloom is disabled, which it already is.
The front desk, what you gotta do is you gotta take the elevator down. You take the elevator down to the first floor, and then you basically take the stairs up to the
Color
second floor.
management, here we go.
Keep it on the first floor, but people kept throwing couches. So you go up to the second floor. You find a white desk. The white desk has a guy standing there. He has red hair. Ignore that guy. Don't talk to that guy. He actually pisses me off.
Advanced.
The badge should be right there. Anyway.
Ah, fuck it, it should be okay.
Make sure that screen space reflections are disabled and motion blur is disabled. And the final thing, and this is super important, is that you go to color management here and click on view transform. Right now it's set to Ajax. I think that's how you pronounce that. This is the new default for Blender. Blender's default view transform, which is not ideal for us whatsoever. We really don't want to be using this. This is for photorealistic rendering. This is not for stylized stuff at all.
Okay.
So click on view transform and set that to standard.
Why is
Standard will make it
why
render
is standard
much more
not
like a
the
game engine does.
default?
And it'll make sure that the textures we're creating in other software will look exactly the same in Blender. There's no like weird desaturation or hue shifting happening.
Okay.
So make sure it's 1:1 by setting our view transform to standard. We can also delete our cube by clicking on it right here and pressing delete, just for fun. We don't really need to do that. I'm sure the first thing to spawn in the next tutorial is going to be a cube anyway, but why not? Have a clean slate to start from. Now the only thing we need to make sure we're doing is saving and saving constantly. Go to File and Save As, which will let you pick where on your computer you would like to save your Blender file. In my case here, this is my Documents folder. I'll make a new folder for it. I'll call this Low Poly Character. Ideally put this folder in somewhere that's automatically backed up to the cloud, like a OneDrive folder or a Dropbox folder, if you can. It's not a requirement, but that's really nice to have. Then double click your folder and name your blend Low Poly Character. And there you go. All you have to do is hit Save As, and now every time you press Ctrl+S or you go to File, Save, you are going to constantly be saving. And I would recommend you press Ctrl+S constantly, save after every video you complete, and after every video complete, you can even press Ctrl+Alt+S to save a new version of your file if you want to be able to go back to your files, which is super useful, so I'll show you that right now. So I'll press Ctrl.
That tracks you. But yeah, I'll organize a VIP. Let's see, VIP the username. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Alt-S, that will save incremental. Now, if we see the name of our file at the top of Blender here, it's called Low Poly Character 1. If I press Ctrl+Alt+S again, now it's Low Poly Character 2. And if I go to File, Open,
Okay, this I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do.
We're always saving incrementally or they're. So now that we have our scene all set up and ready to go here, we need to add our image references for our character. So to do that, we're gonna have to download our file here.
Oh, right.
And to download our file, all we need to do is go to the link that is in the description box below this video. So go right.
Okay, here we go.
What else do I want to talk about? So let's see, we talked about East Sky, we talked about slavery, why slavery is bad, we talked about why I'm never gonna be a VIP ever. They can send messages and
Which one?
chats. I don't even do that. And why did the yellow hair gal call me hot?
Alright, let me
don't listen to her either.
move this.
I kind of want to do a company tour. I don't have
Join for free. Oh, what the fuck? I don't want to make a fucking Patreon. Not right now, at least. Okay, we'll just use my...
Where does Semi get her outfit? Semi makes her own outfit.
Oh my god, okay, I need to fucking make a pass. For fuck's sake.
She's throwing hot sauce on me. Whoa, don't just stand there. Lick up the hot sauce. What are you doing? Fuck you mean, Bart? What? Well, I mean, what? Like, tailors are scared of me. I don't know why. I guess they're afraid of my weirdly snatched waist. I don't know. Which, my waist is not even that snatched, by the way. I have a very normal size waist. You're like, why is your waist so thin? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not as, like, it's not as,
Okay, this should work.
I don't know. I forgot how it works. No, my hot sauce. It's an hourglass exactly. I've always been this way. I've always looked the exact same. Oh yeah, I have been streaming for 4 years. I'm now old in
Oh, you fucking cunt.
Not in streamer terms, but in VTuber terms. Yes, I forget. I keep refusing to put VTuber back in my tags. I'm never putting them there again. You didn't tell me hello at all. Welcome in. How art thou? How art thou? I'm like, I could put the VTuber tag back in, but I'm not going to. Would you like meme? It depends. Is it at least barbecue? Happy anniversary. Thank you. You're built like a Pixar mom. Am I? I thought Pixar moms were like... Is that thunder? Anyway. But aren't Pixar moms thick on the bottom and small on top? I have a very...
There, okay.
Okay, but if it's being sent to me, I'm not going to see it until after strap.
Alright.
Also, yeah, most of them don't have really big boobs, so I don't think I'm like Pixar mom covered. You guys almost never see my hips anyway. like once earlier, but never again. Pixar is notorious for making hourglass figures. Whose claws are sharper, yours or Kitty's?
Okay, which one do I get? There's two fucking low polys.
Because my word is law. Like, my word is law, therefore. Anyway.
Let's get the first one. And reopen if need be. Alright, now I just gotta unzip the fucking thing.
You came here. You came here, you didn't boo me. How dare you? Like, why are you booing me? I'm right.
Okay, extract all.
Yeah, there's not really that much update-wise. I will put in the new,
Pictures. Low poly tutorial.
by Friday, so you'll be able to.
And we'll just shove it there.
I'm sorry to report
Okay, there we
that
go.
Jackson is about
Alright.
to become even more powerful.
Got that shit downloaded.
They revealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Themed cards. Stop giving Jackson props! Oh my god! We have all people away from the headlights, now you're giving him Yu-Gi-Oh! ones.
Ah, shit, I put it on the wrong side.
Jackson props. Stop it. Like, for example,
Ah, fuck it, I don't care, we'll be fine.
She does not. Her boobs are way taller than mine. They even have.
Ah, shit, I gotta shut my phone with charger soon.
I'm gonna just be doing that thing where I'm
Okay,
like,
we should have
so he doesn't-
everything now.
No, why are you giving Jackson Crocs?
Oh shit, is
Stop
OBS?
it.
No.
Like, he's just like, Crocs, you say? And I'm like, get back in the car.
It could be YouTube. Yeah, it's YouTube. Okay, yeah, anyway, sorry. Alright.
You know how hard it is to keep Jackson.
Right below this video and check the description box for that link right at the top, or you can look at the pinned comment. After clicking on that link, it's going to take you to this page right here, and it's going to say if you're not signed into all of our
Okay.
stuff we need in it. So there's a bunch of files in here, but the ones we really only care about are LoveChan front view and side view for now. So I'm going to save myself some time and right click right here and press copy address. Then I'm going to go back to Blender, and now I want to spawn in those image references. So to do that, I press Shift plus A to open the add menu.
Okay, image.
Like, Dexter's mom. We need to give him those Mega Crocs.
Shift A,
Stop giving
image,
Jackson Crocs.
reference. Here we
I'm
go.
gonna walk in one day and Jackson's just gonna be like, hey, so you check these out. I'm just like, what are you? Those are against company policy. Get out of here. Hey, hello. Welcome in, how are you? Like, get out of here.
Oh, Jesus.
I just realized I'm gonna have to go to work later today. I'm gonna have to go to work later.
Okay,
Oh, well. See what else am I gonna be doing? I'm gonna
Where's
prepare my
the-
stuff. I'm gonna probably make mock,
physics. No. Oh, wait, right, it's orange.
Like, especially this. I wanna make this into a freaking acrylic keychain. I need it. Pull out the collection of
Okay,
review-
wait.
What? Wait, you want me to review all of my outfits? You know how many outfits
Here
I
we
have?
go.
I have a lot of outfits. Doing alright? Good. I buy it, then remembered shipping down. How you all doing?
Okay, wait. 90. There we go, 90 degrees.
Also, if stream suddenly ends early, it's because the power went out, because my light flickered. Timmy Factory goes, do you have any clothes? I have so many clothes, no. Put them in a tier list and end your tier list with on your process. Oh my god, that's
There we go.
maybe.
Kind of.
I'll think about doing a outfit tier list.
You know what? Okay, let's insert the other.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come up with at least 2 more outfits before the end of the year because I have a problem.
There.
I don't know
Actually, there should be an easier
outfit
way to
I
do this.
like, because again, I'm tired, but I do still like doing things for Halloween
So,
and for Christmas.
Shift
so
A.
I'll see.
No, Shift.
I just might have to take a bit. I have to take it easy just because work is work. But we'll see. I might do something I might not, because sadly anniversary wasn't able to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay?
Boom, boom.
Other than that, it is nice to be back though.
Okay,
I
X,
missed not being able to stream for the last week. It was very
image,
annoying.
reference.
So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad for that. I'm happy about that. Because I missed you guys. I missed you guys. You know, I missed you guys. You know, even if you are hilariously little bane of my existence, piling dribbles in weird places. But it's okay.
Okay, there's probably a way to make these the same size, so...
I really do like streaming. It's fun. I'll probably go back to drawing on Friday. It's really nice to have you back. I'm glad. It was so boring. It was so boring. Really miss Dragon Link? Aw. I missed you too. Even though you haven't been around for the last 3 years. King Dribble is missing. It's
Okay.
No, he's not. He's fine. King Dribble is fine. Now just imagine trying to get King Dribble on a plane. He'll take up like 4 seats. He's like, is he so big? He'll take up like 4 seats. I was also tempted to draw me like sitting on top of an airplane, you know, just being like semi on the way back, and it's just me sitting on a plane.
Okay, where was I? Okay,
Remember we talked about that earlier? How
let's
to
see what he
add things to
says.
Blender. You press Shift plus A for add. Then we want to go to image, then reference. So after you do that, you're going to want to paste in the address we just copied right here, which is the address bar. So I'm going to click on this, press backspace, then I'm going to press image reference plus A again, go to image, we have our references in our scene. Now we have to line up our references and make sure they're scaled properly for 3D modeling. Now to scale them properly, however, we're actually going to need to enable an add-on we're going to use later on anyway, and that add-on is called Rigify. To enable Rigify, all you need to do is go to Edit, Preferences, and click on this add-on.
Okay.
Dragon Lady Isekai,
Edit.
I'm a reverse Isekai character, to be honest. If we're talking about me, Semi Enigma, I am actually a
Rigify. All you need to do is go to Edit, Preferences, and click on this add-on section right here.
Add-on.
And then when you're done with that, click on this little search bar and type in RIGIFY. So that is
Rigify. Okay,
Click
so
on that
I
little
have
checkbox, and now we have that add-on enabled. And what that does for us is when we press Shift plus A to go to the add menu, we now have a new option under armature here called Human Meta Rig. So click on that option to have our human meta rig in our scene for us. So click on that option, have a new option under armature here called Human Meta Rig. So click on that
armature human
option to have our human meta rig in our scene for us.
Well, as long as you don't give it anything caffeinated, we should be good. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff I want to work on that I just haven't had time for, and it's because I spent too much time on Twitter, so I'm gonna have to stay up on Twitter for a while. Yes, I just say Twitter that way. The way I talk is so inconsistent. One day, do not give it coffee. Don't give it coffee either. God damn, my accent's getting everywhere. Dear accent,
So we don't actually need to use this human meta rig, but it's really nice for scale reference because this is a human being at the end of the day, and we kind of want it generally human being size. So now all we have to do is select both of our references here, which I will do by click dragging them like so and making sure they're both selected, which we can see in our outliner they are both selected.
Okay.
Then I actually want to go to the front view here, which I can do by clicking this little Y right here in the top right of our 3D viewport. Now we're in front orthographic view, which is perfectly flat. There's no perspective, which is perfect for us. Then I want to, and I just saved, remember to save. Now I want to reset our transformations here. So I'll press Alt S, Alt G, Alt R. We press R, we're gonna see that we're rotating along the wrong axis. We want to be rotating along the X axis. So I press R and then X. So again, with both of these selected in the outliner, press R, then X, then punch in 90, press enter. Now we want to get our scale correct, and we can do that by pressing G, scaling this down, pressing G and then Y, G and then Z to move this up. Then we can press S to scale this up again, and that's getting pretty darn close actually. So I'll move this down, pressing G and Z, like that. But it's a little hard to see if my foot is being aligned here. So we're gonna fix that by making these transparent. To do that, all you need to do is click on them. You can either click on the 3D viewport or the outliner. The outliner is a little easier. Then click this little opacity checkbox and set it to 0.5. Then click on your other reference and click this opacity checkbox and then make the value 0.5. Now we can kind of see where we're at a little bit easier. So we want to zoom in here and make sure that our feet are aligned with the ground plane. That's really important. So we're going to click on both.
Okay, why are these the same size? Am I retarded or did I just actually fuck this all up?
Someone locked the basement. We don't have a basement. We don't have a basement.
Alright, here, I got a solution.
I don't have any rates or anything yet because I tried going through a company and that was a little bit of a disaster. So, we'll see. I have to figure out what I feel like the pricing is going to be first. So, I'm going to just make some stuff, test it out, see how it looks. And then we'll go on from there. How's that sound? Again, I'm going to be working on this for the rest of the year because it's like, we're going into quarter... Are we in quarter 3 right now?
There.
Select both of them. I actually can respect again. You can do that, but excuse me, G then. And that's getting pretty darn close, actually.
There is no basement. If you hear knocking from the door or someone asking about their Uber order, it is not real. I put that the disgusting mode on a tote. Oh my god, I love my disgusting mode. That thing looks great. But yeah, I'll probably just make some stuff just for myself, just to see how it goes.
Okay, now we just gotta...
Depending on if I still have a country next year, I'll probably also just, I want to go to some cons next year. Not to tell anybody. But yeah. Alright, open the door. God damn it, Zed. We'll close it. I don't want anybody getting out of there. So I'm
okay, put the meta rig above these guys.
Don't go outside. I'm like, get back in there. I love that when I drink my tea, I always look like I'm angry.
Okay, for some reason I can't really move them. You know what, it's fine. Not like it's gonna change. Okay, I'm gonna shit my fucking brains out of it. Because it's like, oh, space is to help you move because, you know, Clip Studio. But no, it's just like, oh, you gotta hold shift, fuck nugget. Anyway.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna start working on. I want to make videos. I want to make videos for my new channel. By new channel, I mean the channel I haven't used for 3 years. I want to make some channels. What Dragon thoughts on
right there
from another world? I mean, I assume it's okay. I haven't read it or seen it.
Actually, I saw him with this guy.
Same. I just have diffuse ADHD. Yeah. For me, I'm okay. I'm probably just gonna rant about my OCs and world building on it. That's literally all I'm gonna talk about. But I wanted to make sure my anniversary was done first because then it would bother me. I also have... Oh yeah, that reminds me. I made a, let me click this. I made a GIF.
There.
Like
that should do.
Really cute,
okay.
Pressing G and Z, like that. But it's a little hard to see if my foot is being aligned here. So we're gonna fix that by making these transparent. To do that, all you need to do is click on them. You can either click on the 3D viewport or the outliner. The outliner is a little easier. Then
opacity.
It's super simple,
of course.
But I like it anyway. But I made this. Look at this shit. It's so cute. Like, instead of just having it be my model when I'm talking in the videos, I'm gonna have this. Isn't this adorable? Look at her. Oh wait, that's the one. This is another one I have. I think it's...
Mm-hmm.
Is it this one? Yeah.
Boom.
Ah, don't hate me.
Boom. Boom. Okay, opacity. Opacity. Visibility, here we go. No. It's never fucking simple, is it? They just have to fucking overcomplicate things. Oh, we're proper 3D software. Ooh, fucking kill yourself.
What I'm basically talking on the videos, I'm gonna just use this. You know.
How is that? I saw. Ah, you know what? I'm just gonna shoot my shit off.
Oh, cool! I found a dog with a cucumber. you're talking about the big beaches in media. It's called that big beach. But yeah, I drew this and I'm like, this is cute. I like this. So I'm basically going to be using that when I do videos, just kind of keep things the video's also going to be pretty short. Next I'll probably get some
Okay.
pumpkin spice latte. Ew, not pumpkin spice. That's one thing I hate about pumpkin spice anymore.
Ah, shit.
Look-key, miss those short yapping videos. Yeah. Like, I just want to I'm going to put them in a separate channel just because my main channel is too bogged down with thoughts anyway.
And bam.
It's $1 cheaper than the bottle of Starbucks.
So we're gonna fix that by making these transparent. It's easier than where we have both of these then centered though, because the axis is indicated by this blue line, you know, so that's kind of our center. So we actually want to move our reference on the x-axis a little bit more like that, just so that it's nice and aligned.
I think I got it enough.
Something like that. It's not, and actually that is pretty well aligned with the top of the head, which is perfect. You don't even need to do that, but that's nice to have. All right, so then I'm gonna middle mouse on
There we
that
go.
and select our topmost image reference, which I believe, no, that's the wrong one. So I'm gonna right click to cancel, press this one, click on that one, press G, and then press Y, move this back. Then I'm gonna click on our other image reference, then press R, and then press Z. I had to figure out which axis that was.
Okay, so
Now that I've decided, okay, yes, I am a VTuber, but what kind of VTuber do I want to make? And I do like being art based, so but I just want to be able to make stuff. Hopefully my money situation will be solved, so I can finally go back to forcing Cass to work for me again. I mean, by paying him a livable wage.
here we go. Okay.
By livable, I mean $50. I'm just gonna pay Cass $50.
Okay, so this we gotta
Like,
rotate.
Cass, make me this, like, edit this, and he's just like, no, and I'm like, I will give you money. He's like, okay.
There.
Yeah, well, I can finally go back to giving Cass money, and then depending, I might have to go back to day shift. I don't know, I'll figure that out. If my shift changes, I will let everybody know, and then you guys.
Boom.
have to-
Haha.
Ow, I stabbed myself in the leg.
And we saved. Okay.
Let's for a second there. So this, we actually want to rotate this on the Z axis. All I want to do is, because we want this, and then next side view. This is not super nicely aligned because we can tell just by looking at this. This is
Okay.
My main channel is legit just VODs at this point. It's just VODs.
Oh yeah, I got mine a little better aligned.
generally where the top of the head is supposed to be. Our top of the head and our reference is like right here. So that's not ideal. And to fix that, we can just press G and then Y to just move it along the Y axis and kind of line.
It's like it's a nice mint chai blend. If you need help with anything,
Yeah, there.
Line it up like so. Again, this does not need to be perfect, but we can see here that, oh, look at this, the Y is perfectly aligned with the foot right there, so it's great. The top of the head is basically aligned with the top of the head for the Rigify rig here, which is awesome. So by middle mousing on out of this, we can see that things are looking pretty good. So in this tutorial, we fixed the color management right here so that things are going to line up perfectly color-wise when we start importing our textures and applying them to our model. We also learned about saving in Blender, saving incrementally, and we also got our references set up on both axes and spawned in our meta rigs that will be totally ready to start modeling our character in the very next video. So if you're serious about learning how to make your own characters in 3D using Blender, check out the Gumroad version of this course, which is linked right below. It includes the final fully textured and rigged Love-chan model that we're going to create in this series, downloadable versions of all the videos in this series as they're released, a low poly turnaround drawing that you could sketch your own characters onto, which you can then 3D model using everything you've learned in this series. It also includes a bonus video series that introduces you to the fundamentals of using Blender, with even more content coming soon. To learn more, click the link in the video
I'm gonna bullshit my way through once I finish this tutorial.
in the description below.
I gotta find
Die.
Yeah, but yeah, Cowboy Cafe is coming back. I'm actually working on the thumbnail.
Bloody hell.
That's something I'm actually actively working on. It's just
Oh, we can click on this.
Do you have this in the sticky note to remember? I do.
Okay.
So yeah, Cowboy Cafe, since that's short.
Rigify rig and just press H. That's H on your keyboard to hide it because we don't need that right now. Now let's model our character, starting with the feet. So this is not actually going to be very difficult. All we need to do is press Shift plus A, then go to the add menu, mesh, cube. Click on cube, and then from there, we are not going to want to edit this object in object mode. We actually want to edit this in edit mode. So to enter edit mode in Blender, just make sure you have your cube selected and then go to the top left of your viewport and click edit mode. Or if you're like me and that's super annoying, you can just press tab. So tab to switch back to object mode and switch to edit mode.
Okay. Okay.
So when you are in edit mode, which we can see we are in by looking at the top left of our viewport here,
Edit
there
mode.
are 3 different selection modes that you need to be aware of. The default in Blender is this one all the way on the left called vertex select. That's what these little edges on our model are. These are all vertices. So if I click on one and press G, I can move it around like that. All the models we're going to be making here are going to just be made up of a series of vertices, edges, and faces. That's all you need to worry about. So that's what a vertex is. It's all these little points on our cube or any 3D model that make up the model, right? There's also this one right here, which is edge select. Edges are exactly what you think they are. They're the edges that make up your model, right? So if I click on this edge right here and then I press G to move it, our entire edge of our cube is moving like so, and I can press right click to cancel that, or I can press G and then left click to confirm that. But I'll undo that right now. And the final selection mode is right here, and this is face select. So every 3D model consists of a series of faces as well, and you could think of the face of a 3D model as its surface area almost, right? That's kind of confusing to describe, but it's a lot easier if you just start clicking on your cube here and you're like, oh, it's literally just like every face of my cube. Every side of my cube is a face, right? So you can click on these, you can press G to move them, press R to rotate them, like so. There are going to be reasons to use all 3 of these constantly. Sometimes you just want to move one vertex, sometimes you just want to move an edge along an axis or something like that, and sometimes you just want to shift select multiple edges and move a bunch of them. There's a ton of reasons to use all 3 of these. You're going to be switching between them constantly, so understanding what they are and how they work is super important. That is the very, very short version. But yeah, let's get into modeling. So you might have noticed when we have our cube selected and we press tab to go into edit mode like so, if we switch between edit and object mode, we're going to see that a bunch of new options appear here. If you don't see these names, just make sure to drag this little section out. You can see if I drag this all the way to the left, it becomes abbreviated, which we don't want. So hold left click and just drag this out so you can see the full list of names.
There.
So when we're in edit mode, there's a bunch of operators in here that are just used for modeling specifically, right? For this series though, we only really care about 4 of these options. One is our default, which is selection box. That's just how we select things. That's our default for a reason. It's very useful. And we can switch between the different selection modes by pressing W. So there's also select circle you can see there. This is selection lasso. You'll do this if you hold left click. And there's also a tweak, but personally I always use box because I like being able to hold left click and have that option available to me. Other ones we care about are going to be extrude region, bevel, and loop cut. So let me show you what loop cut does first, right? So if we click on loop cut, you're going to see that we can't select our object. Like we can't select faces, we can't select vertices, we can't select edges like we used to, right? That is because we're using one of these tools in this section. And the way that loop cut works is it lets you create an edge loop around your model. So if I press left click here, you're gonna see it creates an edge loop on the top of our cube. I can undo that with Control Z. And if I press and hold left click here, it's going to create an edge loop on the side of our model. So an edge loop is literally, it's what it sounds like. It's a loop of edges that kind of wrap around your model in a quote unquote circle, and they're connected to each other. So I'm going to undo that by pressing Control Z. Then I'm going to go to our next tool here, which is bevel. But before I use bevel, I'm actually going to press W so I go back to my selection box, making sure I'm on face select. Then I'm gonna click on this face here.
They are
Now-
not a couple, they are roommates. Anyway, I gave Jackson a can of Cool Whip. Why would you do that?
Okay,
Anyway,
select
I'm not gonna say what Jackson would do to the Cool Whip.
face
'cause that
select.
is
How
not
do I
appropriate.
do
Anyway,
face select again? I kind of spaced out on that.
I'm gonna go to jail. Yeah, no, Kyo and the manager, whose name is Shoji, they are not a couple. Anyway, I always have to be like, because they are not a couple, they are simply yaoi bait because I am a vindictive weirdo. It's like, and
Okay, I deadass forgot
yaoi
a couple
bait.
things already.
Yeah. And be like, oh my god, that's gay baiting.
No.
Gay baiting. Goes through depression and lore, got hired and gets handed Crocs. Yo, the fuck is this? I fought magical creatures for this. Let's see, what did all these dribbles come from? That's a very
Precision
good
mode,
question. I will answer in
resize,
next week's
rotate.
episode. Anyway. Gay I'll show you gay bait.
Automatic constraints. Oh, here we go.
Be like, Tammy, don't do it. I'm gonna gay bait everyone. One of these two guys gonna kiss? Never. One of these two girls gonna kiss? Never. One of these two NBs gonna kiss? Absolutely never. Nobody is kissing. I will bait everyone.
Oh, I'm gonna blow my shit smooth off. God damn it. Okay.
Say, don't you JoJo me? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't even watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because I hate their outfits. They're like, Shabby, you need to watch JoJo. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I refuse. You can never make me watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not doing it. I don't want to. I never will. Wait, aren't we supposed to do something like week after next? Oh yeah, we're watching Into the Spider-Verse. We're watching
Fuck.
Into the Spider-Verse on the day of, let me look, the 5th. On the
I'm gonna blow my shit smooth off. How did I...
Yeah, September 5th we'll be looking
Okay,
into
wait.
the Spider-Verse, because I haven't watched anything. Now I totally tear the fashion choice. They're weird and awkward and I don't like them.
Okay, the cursor. We just...
I'm gonna hide the butter. You can never hide the butter.
Okay,
Anyway,
wait.
since I'm yawning and I need to make food, I don't know enough about Spider-Man to care. Yeah, since I'm yawning, I'm probably gonna take a nap before I gotta go to work. I'm gonna probably end stream here. Again, it was fun to be back.
Oh, I'm gonna blow my shit smooth off.
Happy to see you all. I hope you liked it.
Okay, I gotta remember how to... God fucking damn it, this is retarded. Why? Why?
I have a philosopher on.
Now, if I press bevel, you're gonna see that there's this little circle.
Fucking make
by the
one
top.
mistake and then now I just gotta we have to fucking...
Indeed, hostile by 7.
Getting Mad's not gonna do shit.
Thank you very much for joining me. If you're watching
So
live on
retarded,
YouTube,
though.
If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Make sure to be good behaving. Don't be a menace and don't eat a horse either. I am going back to my streaming schedule, so I will be streaming Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, American.
Okay.
I think it's Twitter. I think it's just Twitter. Now, just hash this little Twitter thing. I looked it broke. Did it break? No, there it is. Oh, you forgot to put the S on it. Never mind. No, do not give me a horse. Anyway. Yeah, that's what's up. But yes, but thank you very much, everybody. Yes, yeah, I'm gonna go and hang up. But, hostile bye-bye, Tamio. See you this Friday. See you this Friday. Okay? Okay, bye. Bye. Bye.
Alright, I got... Okay. When in doubt, just use Google like a retard. Shift C. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. The hell? Oh, because of the grid. Okay. There. Okay, now why is that? Oh god, fucking. Okay, that fixed it. Okay. Okay, after that whole kerfuckle of being retarded, let's go back to editing mode. Edit mode. Smooth bevel.
Now, if I press bevel, you're gonna see that there's this little...
Yeah, okay, I gotta figure out how to go to faces, so let's just go back a little bit.
If you don't see these names, just make sure to drag this up. When we're in edit quickly, right? Selection box, that's just how selection modes by pressing W. So there's also select circle you can see there. This is selection lasso. So we'll be able to hold extrude region, bevel, right? So if we can, and we can switch between the different selection modes by things. There's one modeling specific edit mode, click and just drag the here. Like, no reason to use all three of these. You're going to be switching between them.
Oh, I just gotta click. Okay, I really am a fucking brainlet. Okay.
Use bevel. I'm actually going to press W so I go back to my selection box.
Okay. I am hungry, I need to pee, and I gotta shove my phone on the charger. I can hold in the piss and the hunger until for like another 30 minutes, so that's fine.
Making sure I'm on face select. Then I'm going to click on this face here. Now, if I press bevel, you're going to see that there's this little circle icon that appears, right? If I hold left click on the circle icon, you're going to see that our faces here become beveled. So this is really good if you want your model to catch a highlight. So if you're modeling like a crate or something like that. But you'll see when we start modeling Love Chan here that her torso is actually kind of just a beveled cube. Notice how this part in the top is beveled, this part in the bottom is beveled.
Okay.
It's kind of just a cube shape that would kind of reshape into a torso, right? So this tool is super useful both for hard surface modeling, but also for modeling characters like this. And the last tool I want to talk about is extrude region. So I'm going to press W to go back to face select here. Then I'm going to click on this face. I'll click on the top face of this cube actually. Then I'll click on...
Okay, let's actually bevel this real quick. There, beveled. And then, actually I gotta bevel that a little more. Oh, no. There. That's weird, but that's fine. So, just gotta, there, select that face.
On extrude region. And what this does is by holding left click, we are creating a new set of faces here, right? So if I hold left click and move this up, we have made a new set of faces on our model here. So I'm gonna show you what happened if we didn't do that by pressing Control Z and then just pressing G to move this. See, if we just move this, we're not actually creating a new set of faces, we're just modifying the existing ones. But by using extrude region, we can extrude from our existing mesh a new part of the mesh, right? So this is super useful if we want to continue our mesh. We'll probably use this on her arms, maybe her hair, for example. It's just a really useful tool to have. But yeah, I'm gonna undo that with Control Z. So we just have a cube here, and now let's get to modeling the foot. Because we've already made these front and side views, all we need to do is kind of model and line up our cube to match the foot in our front view and side view, right? So to do that, I'm going to select, make sure I'm in edit mode first of all, not object mode. We want to do all of our editing of this in edit mode. So I'm going to scale this down by pressing S, scale that on down. Then I'm going to go to the front orthographic view by pressing 1 on my numpad. I can also do it.
Okay, no, I gotta... Edge... Okay.
So I'm going to scale this down by pressing S. I'm going to select, make sure I'm in edit mode first of all, not object mode. We want to do all of our editing of this in edit mode. So I'm going to scale this down by pressing S.
Wait a minute,
scale
something's
that on
off.
down. Then I'm going to go to the front orthographic view by pressing 1 on my numpad. I can also do that right here if I want to. Now I actually want to see my reference behind my cube or in front of my cube. I want my cube to be transparent. That's the word I'm trying to say. And to do that, you can just click right here to do this toggle X-ray button. The shortcut for that is Alt-Z, by the way. So I'm going to click on that right now. Now we're just going to try to line this up with the right side of her. We only need to model the right side of her for now. We don't need to worry about the left because we're just going to mirror all of these and save ourselves a ton of work later on. So I'm going to make sure I'm in vertex select by going up here to vertex selection. Then text these inside of her for now. We the right select. So I'm going to click on that right now. And to do that, you can just click right here to do this toggle.
Oh, X-ray, right. Wait, no, fucking stupid fucking keyboard.
Numpad. I can also do that right here if I want to. Now I actually want to see my reference behind my cube or in front of my cube. I want my cube to be transparent. That's the word I'm trying to say. And to do that, you can just click right here.
I'll do DrawntoLung. Oh, that's all the faces, right? Now, why is that there? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'll worry about that later.
To do this toggle X-ray button, the shortcut for that is Alt-Z, by the way. So I'm going to click on that right now.
You know, if I really wanted to, I could just remake the fucking cube. Just remake it. Just remake the cube. So I don't have a mental breakdown.
Now we're just going to try to line this up with the right side of her. We only need to model the right side of her for now. We don't need to worry about the left because we're just going to mirror all of these and save ourselves a ton of work later on. So I'm going to make sure I'm in vertex select by going up here to vertex selection. Then I'm going to box select these vertices and then press G plus...
Holding left mouse with select box tool.
X so that it lines up.
Same with this side. GX. Okay, bam.
Up perfectly here. I'm gonna drag, select, box select these vertices, press G plus X, and kind of just line this up. Box select these top two, press G plus Z. So then I'm gonna go to the side view by clicking up right here, which I could also do numpad 3.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I only did it because of... Oh, okay. Okay, we gotta... Scale... I did it again. Wait. No, wait, no, right, wait, no, this is fine. This is fine. Now it's fine. Okay.
Now,
One, 6, 4, 1, 9, 1, 8, 1, 7, 1. Okay. Okay, anyway. Let's just... Doesn't need to be perfect, so...
now I'm going to do something a little weird. I'm going to box select these vertices. There's G plus Y.
Okay, actually, wait. Yeah. Right?
Move these over, like so. So it's actually fallen off the side a little bit there. And I'll box select these vertices and press G plus Y and move them to the front here.
Okay, yeah.
Now, remember that loop cut tool we just used? We're going to use it immediately. So I'm going to click on loop cut here. Then I'm going to hover over my cube until this little yellow line appears. You can see it there. Then I'm going to hold left click and move it down to this line on our shoe here. Then I'm going to go back to select box, select both of these verts. Vert is just short. I'm going to hold left click and move it down to this line on our shoe here.
Oh, okay, right click. Okay, did he seriously... No, he said left click. Motherfucker, I heard right! Okay, you know what? No need to get mad. No need to get mad.
Here. Then I'm gonna go back to select, move it down to this line. Yellow line appears, you can see it there. Then I'm gonna hold left click and move it down to this line.
I'm gonna kill myself. I heard right click.
Then I'm gonna go back to select box.
I'm getting too mad for no reason.
These verts. Vert is just short for vertice, by the way. Then I'm going to, actually, I'll just select it one by one. I'll select these vertices right here, press G plus Y.
Okay, so this... Okay. This is coming along well. Okay.
Then I'll select these one of two, because remember, go to front view here. This is a box. That's not one vertex we're moving when we're doing this. We're moving two vertices, so it's important to box select so you actually get all of them. So yeah, still not lining up though, and to fix that, we will once again use...
Need another loop cut. Alright, so... There. Das Boot.
Loop cut. So left click and drag, left click on this vert, on these verts, just to make sure things are looking good on the y-axis. And we can see that I drew the shoe kind of at an angle like this. I don't think that actually looked good in 3D. Like, if I try to recreate that here, I could, but it didn't look very great. So I'm just gonna leave this perfectly upright right there in the front view. I'm fine with that. Then I'm gonna middle mouse out of our view here. Then I'll turn off X-ray by clicking this little button at the top right of our viewport here, and we have modeled our shoe. We are now ready to start modeling the legs. And this is actually super, super simple. So all we need to do to model the leg is press Shift plus A, go to the mesh menu here, and click on cylinder. Now,
go back into object mode. So Shift A, cylinder. What a big ass can.
Cylinder is not going to look like this. It's going to look something like this when you spawn it in. The reason why that is the case is because Blender has an add menu. And by default, when you spawn in a cylinder to Blender, it's going to have, I think, 25 vertices and a cap fill type of n-gon or triangle fan, which just is telling Blender, hey, do you want to fill in the top and bottom of the cylinder with verts or faces or anything like that? And for our purposes here, we actually don't want that. So we're going to set the cap fill type. So if after you spawn in your cylinder, just make sure to expand this, then click on cap fill type.
Okay.
Set this to nothing, and for
nothing.
Verts here, we only want 5 verts because this is a super low poly model, right? We're gonna click on vertices.
Okay.
And press 5 and then enter. That is our super chunky leg, which is perfect. So now I'm just gonna press tab, go to the front view here, and just scale this down with S.
Okay, so
move it with G, scale it down with S.
there. So probably want it put right here.
And we're gonna go to X-ray once again by pressing
I still have it on X-ray,
Alt Z
so...
or clicking this button at the top right of our viewport. Then we're gonna move this G.
Yep, called it.
Scale it with G. With S plus Z.
That should do.
Kinda lines up there, but it doesn't need to be perfect because now we're just gonna grab verts. So I'm gonna box select these bottom verts, G plus Z to move them up.
There we are. I know this is gonna be stupid of me to say, but I think I can now start following this with using my own VTuber model. I know it's just like, oh, but it's not low poly. Fuck you, I can make it work.
Then I'll scale them with S plus X. And I'll move them with G plus X. This does not need to be perfect. Do not worry about getting this perfect at all. S plus X. X axis.
X. No, wait, no. X. G, Z, no. G, X. There.
Perfect. Then I'm going to select these ones at the top here, press S plus X.
X. GX. There. Perfect.
Scale them up a bit. G plus Z to move them up. We actually want them to be slightly over the shorts here. So kind of moving a little bit beyond the shorts. Then I'm going to see what this is looking like in the right view. So I'm going to go over to the right view by pressing this little X button right here, or I could have just pressed numpad 3. Now,
okay, should I wing it or?
you're going to see that this doesn't quite line up in the side.
Yeah. I think if let me wing it. Let me see if. Okay, here. There. Look at that. Okay, now let's look at the
We
tutorial.
gotta fix that. So, box select these bottom verts right here, and then I'll press G plus Y to move them, then S plus Y to scale them down, then G plus Y to move them. Go to the top, box select, S plus Y to scale them up, then G plus Y to move them over.
Oh,
So that is good enough. Now we can see that there's this little like divot in the leg right here that we don't have enough geometry.
Okay, well, that's what I get for. Okay, so. There. 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 Okay, so that's just like the same thing, but it looks better. See, look at that. It's all more coherent looking. Yeah, more coherent looking. More lined up.
To represent. So to fix that, we're going to make a loop cut in the middle of the leg. So we're going to click on the loop cut tool, hover on over our model until that little yellow line appears, then hold left mouse and kind of release left mouse right here with this little divot. And I'm going to box select these two vertices right here, and I'll press G plus Y to move them in like so. Now we're gonna go double check our front view, and yeah, this is looking pretty good. I'm gonna press Control S to save, constantly be saving, and I'm gonna middle mount us out of this view, and I'll turn off X-ray by going to the top right of my viewport and clicking this, or just pressing Alt-C.
Okay.
And you're gonna see that our leg is now done. Congratulations on getting this far. You've already learned how to import 2D references, the fundamentals and tools of 3D modeling in Blender, plus you've already modeled the legs. In the very next video, we're going to model the waist and more, but in the meantime, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss out on.
Okay, I think we'll stop here for now. It's been like 2 hours. About 2 hours. And I want to do something off stream. Like, I want to see what I can do off stream with my model. And then figure things out from there. Not the smartest idea, but could be worse, so... Control-Shift-S... But no. There we are. Alright. Got a screenshot. Again, Control-S. But yeah, that will be it for today. That was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Of course, there's some things I need to keep memorizing, but... I'm sure I'll be alright. Yeah, I think I'll be alright, grand scheme of it. So yeah, thank you all for coming by. I think I'll make these streams a lot more periodically, like maybe once a week. Or... well... And then again, if I just do it once a week, it's gonna be difficult to progress, so... I think I'll just do like one Blender learning stream a week, whereas I learn everything else off stream, or like focus on something else off stream Blender related. I don't know exactly yet. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Have a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. I'm looking forward to more of this. Very much so.